Hello and welcome to the 35th episode of the BTF Podcast. That's the Back to Football podcast, the number one podcast for people who probably should talk about something other than football. Now, today is Wednesday, the 11th of March. There's a certain word that is ruining everyone's life at the moment. We are going to talk about that today. But first of all, I'll talk about three other little words that are joining me in the studio. We've got Levi.
Is that all we are to
you? We've got Levi.
How you doing, Dan?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm waiting. Greg will give me that question in a minute. John, you all right?
I'm okay.
And Greg?
Hello, Dan.
Very well.
Been practicing that.
But yeah, nice.
See, I didn't ask you. That's the first time I haven't gone, how you doing, Dan?
Yeah, that's good.
In 35 episodes.
We're all learning. We're moving on. We are coming at you live on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify simultaneously. And yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button below. We would be very, very grateful if you would do that. Now, boys, how have you been? How was your weeks?
Yeah, I'll go first, shall I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, not too bad. That word that you mentioned, definitely.
Do you want to say it? Do you want to get the first one in there of the show?
Word.
The C word.
Should we use
not the one that's called
COVID-19? Should we say it? Should we call it that?
Yeah. Let's call it by the most commonly known term, the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Oh, he said it.
That one.
COVID-19. COVID-19. Sounds like a District 9 sort of reboot, doesn't it? COVID-19.
100%.
District 9, underrated film.
Yeah, great film.
BTF Film Talk. So yeah, let's get this out there because I know some people are obviously sick of hearing about it. Some people are actually sick with it, and some people are dead. So we probably shouldn't spend too long on this today. But is the world kind of shutting down a little bit because of this virus?
It is. Games being played behind closed doors, no handshakes.
That was insane to watch.
I coach football, so I had a match at the weekend. My under 11s were knocked out of the cup by a team from the league above.
I blame the manager.
You said that again? What'd you say?
Hashtag Miller out.
Yeah, no, sacked in the morning. We lost 4-0. It was a good game, to be fair. But at the end of the game, none of the players shook hands. They tapped the insides of their feet.
Yeah, I saw that.
And some of them were doing like elbow touches.
Yeah, you're in a bush.
Yeah, like that. Well, yes, lads. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was and mindset as well. So obviously you forget. So I shook the hand of the referee and the coach after.
Yeah.
And in my head I was like, I need to go wash my hands. Because it's just the scaremongering is just kind of had more of an effect.
But do you not see the irony almost of, we won't shake hands in the 90 minutes of football that we're going to play where we're sweating all over each other, tackling each other.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I don't really understand how that's... I mean, I suppose it's more...
I would say it's more of a role model thing.
That's
almost see for like obviously the youngsters around when they see footballers not shaking hands. It's almost just that moment where something's completely different, and then you pick up on that, and then maybe replicate that in your everyday life. Just that almost symbolic element, be able to replicate that. I think that's what the aim of the game almost is, as opposed to containing the virus.
Beautifully put.
No worries.
Sweet poetry. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with that. Did you see the clip of Jurgen Klopp when he got off the Liverpool coach this week and did the elbow tap touch with the chauffeur or whatever, the driver,
and he picks up his suitcase
and then picked up so the suitcase handle obviously that the driver's just pulled out and touches it straight away. But yeah, I mean, is washing your hands not one of those things that people should be doing anyway?
This is the thing. So everyone's going mental.
There's no soap. There's no soap anywhere.
But everyone's going
the other day. There's no hand soap. What were people doing before?
This is what I'm saying. Everyone's going mental about it and saying about the importance. Like, have you not been washing your hands beforehand? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Is this a confession?
No. I wash my hands regularly, but I want to
hold my hand up to it.
How many people in the room have started stockpiling?
Stockpiling? No.
I haven't.
Not yet. No.
What are you? So you are then?
No, I'm
really tempted because when you want something, we had to buy hand wash because we just was running out, just on a weekly shop. So when you go there's none there. You're like, so you're thinking the next time I'm gonna have to stockpile because when you actually want some toilet roll, there's gonna be none in the shops.
That's my reason for it. It's not because I'm scared I'm gonna have to go into quarantine for ages and I'm gonna have to survive on these rations. It's because I don't know when I'm next gonna be able to get this thing that I need. What if you need just the basics? What if you need deodorant? There's no deodorant.
Yeah.
He's going to walk around smelling.
It's going to be a hot
something's coming.
So
first world problems.
It's not stockpiling to be excessive and go into like panic. It's potentially stockpiling to be prepared, because if you've been into Asda, it's like the apocalypse and all the shelves are just completely empty. Or if you go into like Tesco's, there's literally like signs like limiting how many people can how much people can buy. So there's things out there essentially that are showing us that we probably should start putting some supplies aside and putting things away. In
the world of sport, no one said anything yet, but I would predict that the Euro is probably going to get cancelled.
So
the Serie A in Italy has been suspended until the beginning of April. I think the French first two divisions, they've been suspended since till the beginning of April.
Is that confirmed?
Yep. Yeah, this today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the Olympics in the summer as well in Tokyo. Big question mark.
Yeah, massive question
I
mark.
would suggest I don't know. I'm not an expert, and I think obviously I'll put it out there, but I wouldn't think the Euros would be cancelled. I think they would just play them behind closed doors, if I'm honest.
That's such a shame, though, isn't it?
As much as it is a shame, I still like
the ticket sales as well, the economy of it. Would it be not worth just cancelling it?
And then doing what?
Play it next year.
Play it next year, yeah. Postpone it.
Because there's nothing in that summer, is there?
Why
exactly. It's the Qatar World Cup, which is going to be... no, that's 2 years' time, isn't it?
That'd ruin my summer. If they cancelled the Euros, that'd ruin my summer. I was already planning the barbecues.
The liars that will be saved.
I was planning the barbecues.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
Or because Levi was have a barbecue and a few Fosters.
I'm sorry. No. Let's put it into perspective. Playing games behind closed doors is not going to risk lives. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's risking lives. So I'm saying just play the games behind closed doors. Let the Euros go ahead. We'll just put some fan noise on speakers and make it seem like it's
what is the logic behind not playing behind closed doors?
Well,
is that it still requires several hundred people, I guess, to put on a game just to run the stadium and the dressing rooms and the coaches to get them there and everything like that. I'm guessing without the fans, there's still probably best part of 500 people at a stadium.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is, there's a lot of controversy with it, and this might be my final point on it. The way that coronavirus works, it's droplet transmission, and it's through sneezing, coughing. So you're more likely to harm people in a small vicinity than you are in a 70,000 seater stadium. You're not going to hit someone in row Z if you're in row C. Whereas cancel games or not, or play them behind closed doors, everyone goes to watch them in a pub. You're sat at a table with 4 or 5 people, you're going up to the bar, you're buying pints, you're coming back. You're going to affect more people in that pub than in a 60,000 seater stadium.
Yeah, true. I know that's one of the problems. I think that's one of the reasons that they have cancelled the games altogether. Yeah. But then people just can, I don't know. People want to. We're social creatures. People want to be around other people. So
yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's time for people to spend time with their families and just chill
so
in your house.
If your family has coronavirus, just go.
Well, unfortunately, they just have to stay in their room. They have to stay in their room, and then you can roam the house. And then,
imagine if you own a cleaning company right now, that does deep cleans and anything like that.
Lovely.
Yeah. Or you own a hand sanitizer or toilet roll.
Maybe
whatever,
we should stop doing podcasts and
reinvest.
Yeah, we could do.
Shutting schools and cleaning schools and
doctor
surgeries and stuff like that. My doctor's surgery was closed for a couple of days.
Yeah, I believe the doctor's surgeries are probably closed and clean. But do you really believe that schools have closed down and then they're going through a deep cleaner? Probably the same cleaner just going around with a bottle of bleach.
I would imagine so. I mean, how does one?
Corner.
And also that that one cleaner or that one person is then if there is a virus there, then they're going to get it.
They let them do the deep clean. And
it's just going to be this.
Sorry, you've got to go 2 weeks in self isolation now.
There's going to be a zombie race of cleaners in London soon. I mean, final point, and probably with no discussion on this one, but I do think the Premier League will have games cancelled very soon, or at least played behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Liverpool's title run doesn't happen.
Hopefully,
lovely. Cancel the season.
Cancel the season.
Void the season.
Just reset in August. Just do it again. This was
void the season.
Hopefully, later today, if Arsenal slip up again, if Man City slip up against Arsenal, and Liverpool win against Everton on Monday, then we won't have to worry about the Premier League being decided because it'll already be done.
Quite possible.
Look at John's face. John hates it.
So, also worth mentioning, it's been blowing up on social media. I must confess, I've not finished it yet. I think, did you say you maybe started it? But Love is Blind is something that I think we're going to talk about on BTF 36. I know some of you will be watching that have seen all of it, seen the reunion show.
I haven't even touched it.
Yeah, and know everything about it. So maybe this will be good to just give 60 seconds on what the show is. John, have you seen any of it?
I've literally seen some of the last episode.
Right, okay, that's not a good place to
it's
be.
Not a good place to start. So I better just stay out of this.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to be watching it and knowing that a person said I do or I don't.
Okay.
Like a couple of people. I've seen a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of them.
I'll try and quickly summarise
John,
it.
you're actually everything that's wrong with society. How can you watch the last episode, the most important bit of the show, before watching the actual predominant bit of...
John messaged me and said his sound wasn't working for the rest of it. So.
Yeah, got Netflix.
Throwback. BTF 29 or something like that. I mean, to summarise the show then, because I think Greg, you said you'd watched like the first
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Which is interesting because the show is not really very consistent in terms of the first episode is one setting, one kind of theme in terms of they're in those pods and they're getting to know each other, and then they leave those after like 1.5 episodes. And then it goes on to the outside world, and then it's more about actually them building up these relationships.
They go on a holiday.
So I think that I would be interested to see if a lot of people were put off by the first episode, thinking, "Oh, this is just a show about people talking to each other through a wall," whereas it's really not that. Did you ever watch Dating in the Dark? By the way, that program.
I heard of it. Yeah,
I heard of it.
It's very serious about it. A show that was not serious at all. I think I've heard of it. Yeah, I read about that once. But yeah, no, Dating in the Dark. It reminded me a little bit of that, where people would just go into this room, pitch black, and then have a date. With obviously night vision cameras in there. Okay. But yeah, it seems like a good show. We'll talk about it next week, and we'll try and watch as much of it each, even if we just watch the last episode like John has.
Or read the subtitles. Yeah.
I think that's one to look forward to in BTF 36. Greg, you had a huge rant about Spurs this week on our Instagram story. You can go and check that out on the highlights on our Instagram account, which is at
BTF Podcast.
Yeah, there we go. Close enough.
Very
simple.
The BTF Podcast. But yeah, Greg, tell us about that. What happened with Spurs?
So it was Norwich FA Cup draw. We're at home. We the thing is, you'll watch it on the highlights. You can go and watch that. But there's just no heart in it. There's no get up and go. We scored in the 13th minute. Look, I'm a man of simple pleasure, right? I like having a drink. I like being with friends. I like seeing my football team win. Okay, we went 1-0 up, 13th minute. Okay, team scores. We're getting up. That's how it goes. But even then, I know I'm watching this game and thinking we haven't sewn this up. We're not playing well. We're not doing this. Is there going to be a goal come? I wasn't surprised when it came. I was surprised when we just didn't react. Didn't look like we cared. Didn't look like we wanted to do anything with it. And then, the penalties, we absolutely fluffed it. This is the thing. We've got a lot of players injured. We've got Bergwijn out, Son, Kane, Lloris is back out.
You know what? I kind of feel sorry for Mourinho.
Yeah.
Because he's just been dealt the shittest set of cards ever.
Shit sandwich.
Yeah. And I'm glad that I haven't been hearing or seeing too much of people getting on his back almost and saying Mourinho out. I think it's very, very early days, but he hasn't probably taken off. I don't know, Greg, what you think? Taken off to how Spurs fans would have initially thought when he was coming in.
I think when he came in, we didn't expect anything. And I think from this season, we're not expecting anything. So I think that his real test will be in the summer. So he brings in who leaves, and next season will be the season if he proves himself to be what we needed or what we absolutely didn't need. I definitely agree that Poch should have gone. It was time for him to go. I'm sceptical of Mourinho, but he is a winner. He'll want to win. It's just if the players underneath him want to win, and I'm not seeing that at the moment. I said it in the story that there's 17-year-old, 18-year-olds around the country that would do anything to be in the position that these players are in. And they didn't even look bothered that they lost. They didn't even look bothered, and that's what wound me up so much. It was just like another game, and then the reaction of celebrating and being happy with gaining 1 point from Burnley.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is sometimes clubs have to go through a difficult time. I remember when Liverpool celebrated their draw to West Brom, I think it was at the time, with like arms in the air as if they just won a trophy. They all lined up, threw their arms in the air, and that was like 3 years ago when Klopp had just joined. Yeah. And it's tough times.
It is,
times, man.
To think we were in the Champions League final 9 months ago. It's a disgrace to the Championship.
Well,
I mean, personally, I think it's all conditioning. Like, if you don't get those injuries, if you don't have that inconsistency in your team, you're fine.
But it's the way we react to it. Kane was injured.
Had a thin squad in the first place. That doesn't help.
Kane was injured at the beginning of January. You've got a whole transfer window then to get in someone a backup or bring in.
It's still hard to do that.
It is, but it is.
Can you replace the talisman of your team? Because
the best player or the best English player, maybe bar one.
But I think now we're also faced with a situation where does Harry Kane stay at Spurs?
I think so.
I don't know.
Why?
I think so.
Why? What's he got to stay for?
Where does he go? Man United?
That's what I was thinking. Where's he
He's
go?
coming into the prime of his career. He wants to be winning. You want to be winning trophies. You want to be. As a player, you want to be winning trophies.
Yeah, but
you can't.
As like Dan said, it's the conditioning as well. It's not like they've got a bad squad. They've had some horrific injuries.
Yeah.
How many chances though has he given it at Spurs?
Kane wasn't having a great season to begin with anyway. If he goes, then I'm genuinely going to be okay with it because he doesn't want to be at the team. He doesn't want to win with this club, and that's fine. You go, we'll get 200 million for you. We'll get some players in, hopefully.
I think if Harry Kane leaves Spurs, expect more dark times.
Mate, I'm a Tottenham fan. I expect nothing more than dark times. Don't worry about that. But this season is a write-off. However we end up is how we react in the summer and in next season. Then get back to me.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Exactly.
We'll leave it there with Spurs chat. F1 returns this weekend. The Melbourne Grand Prix, the Australian Grand Prix, and I've got some kind of updates here on the teams. Mostly the same actually in F1 in terms of the grid lineup this year. The only new driver is Nicholas Latifi, who joins Williams as the driver alongside George Russell, replacing Robert Kubica. Hamilton, Bottas still at Mercedes, Vettel, Leclerc, Ferrari, and Albon, Verstappen with Red Bull. Returning, we also have Esteban Ocon, who's going to be driving at Renault alongside Daniel Ricciardo this year. But moving on from the drivers themselves, I just want to look at Lewis Hamilton this year and the records that he's potentially going to break this year. You know, if he has another fantastic year. So this is going to be a long list, basically reeling off here. But so he'll move into second this season for most races with a single constructor. So he'd have to start 13 races with Mercedes to go to that. I mean, it's not overly impressive, but he already leads most races with a single engine supplier, because obviously he was McLaren, Mercedes, and now actual Mercedes. He is 7 wins behind Michael Schumacher to have the most wins of all time in F1. He's never won more than 11 races in a season, which is quite interesting, and he's never had more than 5 consecutive wins. So I'd think he'll be going for those this season. If he wins in either Canada or Hungary, he'll join Schumacher for the most wins of one Grand Prix, which is 8. So he's got 7 at both of those GPs so far. If he gets pole this weekend in Melbourne, he'll have the most pole positions at the same Grand Prix, which again, incredibly impressive. He needs 5 podiums to go top of podiums all time. He's also set this season to go top of races finished in the points, most laps led of all time, and the longest distance led. And of course, if he does win the championship, sorry Greg to be boring you on this one. No. If he does win the championship, he'll join Schumacher up there with 7 world championships. Now, he's not done at all. Like, it's not like this guy is at the end of his career. He's still very much in it.
He feels like he's been 25 for the last 10 years.
He's definitely coming up to his late 30s.
Is he?
Nah, he's not late 30s.
No, coming up to almost like 30. When I say late 30s, what do we class late 30s? 35.
Pick a number. 35, yeah?
Yeah.
That's mid-30s.
What are you saying?
What? What was
he, 35?
He's 35.
Yeah.
That's mid-30s. That's not late 30s.
Well, he's approaching it. He's got 1 year before he hits 36. That's late 30s.
Semantics. I'll take it. You're right there.
Wait, how old is he?
January birthday. He's 35 now.
35.
So a month or two ago, we wouldn't have accepted your statement. But
unfortunately, my statement is accepted.
So he's 35, and basically he's set to go to the top of so many records this season already. And I think
the GOAT.
I think so. I do think so.
It's interesting because we have to go back to BTF 21, but you weren't convinced. We had a chat and you were like,
I know.
What ages do race drivers retire at?
It depends.
There's that Spanish one that's still he's like 58.
I think
if they're in it,
I think if they stay in, if they stay in the zone and they train hard and they're dedicated, then late 30s, like maybe 37, 38. People like Barrichello, Felipe Massa, they all went on quite well, but I don't know, to stay at the top for so long, I think that's the thing that convinces me. Like you say, I wasn't sure, and to stick on, I don't want to spend too much time on F1, but the thing is, he has done it in the best car, and that was my point before, is that, can you call him the GOAT when he's in the best car? But then also, he's overtaken Michael Schumacher in everything, and it just happens that the Ferrari was brilliant when Schumacher was in that. And the other guy that's up there with all the records is Sebastian Vettel, who also was in a dominating Red Bull back then. So, but the one point I think with the car side of things this season is that Mercedes have this new thing called DAS, which is dual axis steering. So basically, as well as going left to right with the steering wheel, you can go forwards and backwards, which adjusts the...
My car can do
can't
that.
Remember. It's not meant to, though. Which adjusts the angle of the wheels. So basically, when the car brakes, the wheels naturally come inwards. The driver can basically choose to... So the wheels are set that way.
Yeah.
Usually, but now he'll be able to pull his steering wheel forward or push it forward, whatever. And that will straighten the wheels in the straights, and then he can put them back to that position in the corners. Okay. So it's just it could just revolutionise F1. There's talk of Red Bull maybe protesting it, but it's only going to make Hamilton faster.
I think obviously the technology's already been banned for next season.
Yes.
So I think it's the only season that they'll be using it.
Which is ridiculous. What's the fucking point of that?
Yeah, but I guess it's just obviously a really good piece
Sorry, Levi's mum.
I think it's a really good piece of obviously engineering. I've got a friend of mine who absolutely loves F1, won't stop going on about it. And he was talking about how essentially the car will be just that little bit closer to the ground, so it would be able to take the corners at just that slightly quicker, almost shaving off temps. But in the scheme of F1, those temps in certain sectors, in the grand scheme of the race, they do count. So
qualifying.
Should we be commending Mercedes for an absolute potentially innovative engineering?
What's the reason for the ban for next season?
I'm not actually 100% clear cut on what the actual reason for it is, but they just came out and said they won't be used next season, potentially because of Red Bull's protest, suggesting that it gives them an unfair advantage. But
I'm not 100% sure on those. But so Hamilton basically is set to just go to I think once you're at the top of every record, can you not be the GOAT?
He's the GOAT.
Yeah, but he'll probably be faced with that argument: do you want to reach the top and then stop, or do you want to reach the top and then put your own almost legacy on it?
And 100% he's going to do that.
He'll stick around. He'll stick around.
Guy, yeah.
He'll beat the records and he'll do some more as well.
Yeah. I think to bring it down a little bit, I think the Schumacher situation maybe could be a bit of a cloud over that. In that,
100%.
If he was still racing, where would he be at the moment, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think it's as much as I don't think there was ever any chance of Schumacher kind of adding wins and adding stuff.
Okay.
He was done with. He was retired.
Right. Okay.
But there's still a cloud there in terms of it's a very, very, very tragic situation with Schumacher and his current health. And I think anyone that has any interest in F1, whether you like Schumacher when he was a driver or not, wishes any kind of recovery to Michael to kind of. It's just a horrific situation. There will be, that is a cloud in some sense that you're kind of overtaking someone who's in a sad situation in their life. But I'm sure that there'll be many tributes kind of paid to Schumacher's F1 career. Yeah. Certainly if Hamilton does start kind of jumping up there.
For sure. Is there a Hall of Fame in F1?
I don't think so. Yeah, but I mean, if there was, it would be Senna, Schumacher, Prost, Hamilton, pretty much now. Jackie Stewart, maybe.
Sessions.
Yeah, Taplow winner.
Who's the two racers that they made a film on as well?
Lightning McQueen
Frost
and
Nixon, I think. No, that was a Cars joke.
That went straight over my head. I haven't really watched Cars.
It was James.
It's really annoying. The movie's quite good as well.
Played by Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Rush. Rush is the film.
Yeah.
Do you want me to have a look?
Yeah. He was like I think that was 70s. Niki Lauda was the driver, the German.
James Hunt and Niki Lauda.
James Hunt. Yeah.
I don't
Good
know.
Film.
I don't know why, but
directed by Ron Howard.
Yes, it is
from Happy Days.
Right.
Happy Days.
If we're going to follow that story, if that's anything to go by, maybe the early inductees as well.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I think James Hunt had quite a short career, but yeah, he was a very, very exciting race driver. And on the subject of F1 films, have you seen Senna?
I haven't.
Oh, mate, that is a stunning documentary and just a brilliant piece of cinema. So if you get a chance to watch that, please do. Any final points, John, to add on whether Hamilton's the GOAT?
No, for me, he's the GOAT. And he'll just cement that this season. I think he'll continue to win. He's got the best car, and he's an outstanding driver.
He's an Arsenal fan, isn't he?
He is,
Hamilton? Yeah.
Kindred
spirits.
Kindred spirits, yes. Let's get some predictions for the games then coming up this week. So obviously tonight we have Man City and Arsenal in the Premier League. Really quick predictions on these ones.
2-0 City.
2-0 City.
You know what? I was going to say the same thing, but I'm going to change up a little bit. I don't want to be like you, John. I'm going to say 3-1 City.
3-1 City. And Greg?
I reckon it'll be slim. I reckon it'll be a 1-0 City.
But no, me.
They looked toothless earlier in the week.
Yeah, but we've got David Luiz.
This is true.
I've just made another prediction, and I literally promised that I wouldn't make another prediction. No, I've just made one.
Oh, right. It's all right. It's not Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm not making any more Liverpool predictions. I really, really hope that because I've said 3-1 City, now it goes in the opposite direction.
Oh, me too.
It might happen.
I double captain. I put Bamiyang as my captain this week, thinking that he's got 2 games.
Yeah.
Fantasy football, but didn't get on the score sheet against West Ham, and I can't see him getting on it tonight.
I had Vardy in mine. I captained Vardy.
Yeah.
Not well. Did he get 2 goals?
He got 2. Yeah.
Did he finally scored?
Yeah. I took him out this week.
I did as well.
Aubameyang.
Got it.
I took him out for next week, so I might have to try and fix that.
Right, so next prediction, we got PSG versus Dortmund in the Champions League. Played behind closed doors. Aggregate score at the moment is 2-1 to Dortmund. Predictions for the final aggregate score in this game. Who's going through?
I'm going to say it's probably be a 2-2 draw. But yeah, I back Dortmund to go into the next round. But I think it's going to be a draw. It's going to be a tightly fought contest.
I think it's going to be tight. I think the crowd is going to make a real difference there. I think, Dortmund, I think they'll win 2-0. So 4-1.
John?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with Lee, but I think it'll be a draw, but Dortmund will go through.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Is Neymar fit? Is Neymar playing?
Don't know. Let me check.
I think he should be. Mbappe and Neymar. I'm going to go that PSG can actually get a result finally in the Champions League. I think playing behind closed doors might help them out a little bit. So I'll go with the 1-0 PSG win, and that will obviously give them that away goals. Away goals is still valid.
So
PSG away goals win. Levi, we won't make you make a prediction on this one, but Liverpool playing Atletico Madrid or Atletico Madrid. Obviously, all kids say Atletico Madrid. Naturally, put the H in there, but 1-0 obviously from the away leg back to Anfield. Under the famous,
it's not behind closed doors, is it?
What I'm gonna add just really quickly is
prediction
time.
No,
I'm not going to predict at all. I'm actually going to say something. I'm going to say Liverpool are playing really, really poorly at the moment. If we're talking about Liverpool, shaky at Bournemouth, terrible at Watford, shaky at West Ham. So that's their last 3 games, I would say, in the Premier League. Really, really on shaky ground. Something's not quite right, but I think they will have the added bonus of having Jordan Henderson back in the starting lineup, which hopefully will provide that boost, and obviously we'll have the Anfield crowd behind Liverpool on a European night. So that being said, let that lead your prediction making.
Yeah, you can't discount the Anfield crowd.
Yeah, but I'm going to throw mine out there first.
Yeah,
I'm going to
go
say
for it.
3-2 to Liverpool, and then away goals win.
Wow, so 2-2 draw, is that?
3-3.
So
3-3 draw.
On the night to be 3-2, and then overall to be a 3-3 draw.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Would that take Atletico through?
Away goal.
Yeah, because they would score 2 at Anfield.
Yeah. I can see Atleti going through. Really, I think that they'll either go out and straight away defend, or nick one and straight away defend, or the away goals will decide it. Really,
I'm gonna go for 0-0.
Really?
Yeah, I think
so. We're all saying,
I can't wait to come back next week and look all of you haters in the eye and just say, I told you. I'm not gonna.
That's a prediction.
That's not a prediction.
We got it out of him in the end. Levi predicts that Liverpool will go through. So on Thursday, then Man United play LASK, Austrian team away in Austria again behind closed doors. Quick one on this: just win, draw, lose.
Win
John
for United.
Win for United.
Convincing win for Man United.
Yeah,
as much
definitely.
as it pains me.
They're on fire at the moment.
Goals, I reckon.
Yeah, lots of chatter there, but yeah, I do think
Shall I go again? United will win.
Olympiacos taking on Wolves out in Athens for that one. Greg,
that can be a tough game for Wolves. I think Olympiacos have got goals in them.
Beat Arsenal.
They had us 2-0 down. I can see Olympiacos stealing a win there.
I'm going to say Wolves will snatch it 1-0. I think Wolves are a slightly better team than Arsenal this season anyway. So
table don't lie.
Yeah, I think they could snatch a 1-0 and come back to the UK with a bit of a lead.
Nice,
if they're allowed.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree there. I actually think Wolves will get to the final. So I picked them to go for it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I like this Wolves team a lot, so I'm saying they go out there, get an away win. The final UK team in Europe. Glasgow Rangers taking on Bayer Leverkusen at Ibrox. This is also on Thursday night. Can they beat Bayer? John, Stevie G's Glasgow Rangers.
I'm going to go for a draw. 1-1 draw.
I'm going to go Bayer Leverkusen. We'll take the win, probably 2-0.
Okay.
I see Leverkusen winning that 2-0.
Nice. Parrot times. I'm just going to say, draw for that one as well. I'm not confident on the score. It could be a 0-0 actually, I think, maybe. Which would be impressive actually if Rangers can hold Leverkusen to not score. And the final prediction, a game that I'm going to, hopefully, if all football games are not played behind closed doors or cancelled by Friday, Fulham taking on Brentford. This is third place in the Championship taking on fifth place at the moment. Quite a big game. Will comfortably kind of put Fulham in playoff contention if we do get a win. I'm going to do a Levi and refrain from predicting this one, but it'd be interesting to hear your predictions. Obviously appreciating that you probably might not have watched too many Fulham games this year, but yeah, John, thoughts?
I'll go Fulham back in the home team. They're higher up the table on good form, so
yep.
Yeah, Fulham.
Levi?
Unfortunately, I'm probably going to annoy you a bit there. I'm going to say Brentford will take it. At points I'm just not convinced with Fulham. It's one of them teams. They either convince them with their win, or if they do, when they do win, they'll leave it really, really late. And I think I'm more convinced with Brentford potentially going there and making a stamp on the league.
I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Just looking at their form at the moment, Brentford haven't won in their last 4 games. Fulham getting 2 wins out of 5.
It might be the other way around, the way you're reading it, because Brentford won 5-0 at the weekend.
Oh, I'm looking at it differently.
So they hadn't won.
They got 1 in
5
games. Yeah. But I do see Fulham taking this one.
Yeah, I know. I said I wouldn't make a prediction, so let's
don't predict.
But quick shout out actually to the Forever Fulham podcast, who follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, shout out.
They're doing a good job, those boys, Hal and Rocco. Final question is: can Man United challenge for the Premier League next year? Greg, to open up on this one, and we'll keep this again quite brief, maybe a minute.
I don't think so. I think
set the timer.
Next season, the one good thing about this season is we know that next season is going to be hotly contested. No one is going to want Liverpool to run away like they did this year. City, depending on how the ban goes, it's going to be a really interesting conversation. Tottenham as well, with Mourinho, a free transfer window, and Frank Lampard, he's getting a bit of a groove going on at Chelsea. And Leicester are going to want to galvanise and keep up the momentum. It's going to be a really difficult one. I don't think so.
Levi?
I think they will, in the early stage, probably challenge, but I don't think they will be able to mount a charge. Obviously, it'll be massively dependent on the business they do in the summer. Massive addition of Bruno Fernandes, who's managed to almost hit the ground running.
Player of the month.
Yeah,
100%. And see how he and Paul Pogba, if we're still having that conversation, can gel in that Manchester United team and potentially cause ripples. But for now, I'm saying no. But based on their summer transfer business and the collaboration between the 2 centre midfielders, potentially.
And collaboration with Mino Raiola, I'm sure. Final sort of 10-15 seconds on that then, John?
Yes, I will say they can. Taking on what Greg said, with everyone challenging, I think it will be a little bit like people dropping points left, right and centre, and if they manage to get Rashford backfiring or even do some good business and get a good striker in the summer, I think they've got every chance.
Cool. Yeah.
And Dan?
I think they will, there just seems to be a different energy around that team now. Bruno Fernandes has come in. It just takes one player to kind of wake a lot of other... there's a lot of good talent there. It just takes one player to come in and kind of wake them up.
I say they permanently sign Igalo, but that might be...
I think that would be a great signing. I think he's been good. I think he looks sharp.
100%. And I think it's telling as well. He's always wanted to play for Man United as well.
That's the thing.
And having almost that passion for the badge, I think he's been able to show that in the short space of time that he's been in there.
He's a quality player.
I do think that is the next stage of football that we're going to see. We are going to see reverting back to players that want to play for the badge rather than just paying hand over fist for the best player. Yeah, I think Pogba will go, and Fernandes is going to be a key player.
Nice. All right, well, I think we will leave it there then for BTF 35. If you have stayed with us for the entirety of the show, of course, thank you, and please do give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed what you saw. We will be back next week. If you haven't already watched it, please do watch Love is Blind so you can join in on the conversation with us next week. Don't just skip to the last episode. Like John's done. Thank you, boys, for another good show.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.